Hey there, this is Kurt Yelly with Safe at Home Healthcare. Wanted to bring you a present just to show you the cost of senior care. It's 2024. It's October. We're going to be going into 2025. So we probably will see a little uptick again as far as cost of care, unfortunately, and things like that. But wanted to show you how you can figure that out for your specific area. And the best tool to do that, which I have on my screen here, is to go to Genworth. They're a long term care insurance company. So I'm going to go through the different options that of the cost of care and kind of give you an idea as far as what that is. I can give you more specific as far as what we're charging in the greater Chicagoland area if you're in that area, um, which is our area that we service right now. And we'll go from there. And I'll show you also what the difference obviously is between, because assisted living and nursing home are more would be more considered group care versus one-on-one care. So it's kind of like, you can sign up for a fitness class with a group and it's less expensive, but you don't get that personalized attention. Whereas, if you hire your own personal trainer, they know you really well and can help you progress faster and things like that. So it's kind of that's the difference between the three, but we'll talk about that. So if you go to genworth.com and then you click on aging you there, you'll see cost of care right here. Here's some other nice, what is long-term care, understanding Medicare and Medicaid, how to pay for care. That's another option thing. But we're going to go right here to cost of care survey. We'll scroll down. Oops, don't want to do that. Let's get back to the US here. Didn't mean to do that there. Let me see if I can just still get that over. Because you can actually, well, I'm not going to mess with it. You can actually click on your state. But if you go in here and just put in your zip code, I'm going to put in mine and then then I'll just hit enter, or I'll click on this right here. And it shows me my state as far as the areas in the state where they've taken numbers and things like that. So here's Chicago area, which is where I'm located. Here's 2023. You want to make sure that is, but then you can also figure out future costs. But let's just focus on where we're at now. So here's the median costs, and these are on average. So in-home care, homemaker services, the difference in cost of these two is a homemaker service is an agency that well, let me go. Is one that just does errand running and things like that. Whereas a home health aide is they're doing now personal care, helping with a parent with bathing, dressing, toileting, and things like that. So that's the difference in cost of those two. So, and you can click on that if you want to see that description as far as what the difference between what they're meaning. See how homemaker services are clean houses, cook meals, run errands, whereas a home health aide is going to help with personal care kind of things. Okay. So adult day health care, that'll give you that too. That's where you actually take a loved one or a senior parent to the place and then they spend the day. It's a great option actually if you're looking for a respite, or even if you have you got both parents but one needs help. We had a client that her husband would go 3 times a week to the adult daycare center and spend the day there. It is less costly than being in a facility. They had their own place, but they would transport him there, drop him off. He'd be there for the whole day. Now the wife could do her things during the day, um, without having to stay at home to make sure he's going to be safe at home. So that's a great option for people. So when people call me for care, I'm looking to help them out the best way they can. So it's more being a consultant, because it's for the sake of the client, not for us. Obviously we provide in-home care, but there are situations where budget, money's a concern, and that's why I wanted to show you this, because this is one of the most common question is, do you understand the costs of home care? Or do you understand the costs of all the cares? Things like that, which is why I'm doing this video. Now, let's go to now assisted living facilities. This is like your big complex where now mom or dad or mom and dad are moving into a place. Um, Now, typically, this is based on one person. So if you have a couple moving in, it's going to be double because obviously they're having, two meals. It's double the amount of meals, double amount of cleaning up, things like that. So that would double if it's a couple going into an assisted living facility. So that's around 6,500. Okay. These numbers and that's also based on level of care. So this is probably the minimum, all right? Because assisted living does have three different levels of care. So, like if your parent just needs a medication reminder in the morning, well, then you're looking at probably the 6,500, okay? Where now, if they need it another time, like they need it at noon and they need it for evening, now this is going to go up in price. So they have tiered pricing. So it depends on the needs of your parent. And then it also can go up to as far as, now do they need personal care? Do they need bathing? So it's an activity fee-based fee schedule. In other words, the more help they need, the higher this is going to go up. Okay. So it can go up. I know we have places around here where it's $10,000 a month in the Chicagoland area. So again, it depends on the level of care needed. Same thing with actually back here at home care. We also base it on level of care. So this cost can go up as well for in-home care. So now we can look at the nursing home facility. This is a semi-private room. Now you've got a roommate, so this is what your cost of care is there. If you are in a private room, you want your own private room, this is what it's going to be per month. Okay. So typically in a nursing home, if somebody's calling me and they say, oh, my mom needs an IV or a G tube and things like that, feeding, we're going to recommend that because that's medical. If you need medical oversight or daily medical help, a nursing home is where they have to be, because you want nurses that are on staff and doing that. In the home care and in assisted living, now assisted living does have a nurse there, but they're not going to take on somebody that needs an IV and things like that. So they have qualifications as well, and they would be doing an assessment to figure out if they are, can be in their facility. But here's the different costs of those two: semi-private room and a private room. So I was looking at, let me just do the hourly costs. So I wanted to just do this because it's only showing the home care. So hourly cost for in-home care would be, this is pretty accurate. Around here in Chicago, it's anywhere from $35 to $40 an hour. And again, the homemaker service is just somebody that's going to run errands and things like that. They're not providing any personal care, such as bathing, dressing, and toileting. So what we have is we have a tiered structure too. So for the hourly care, we go from anywhere from 33 to 37 an hour. So 33 would be your parent just needs some supervision. We've had plenty of patients like that. They can go into the bathroom, do everything on their own, but the caregiver just needs to stand outside the door, make sure they're okay. They probably need verbal cues. It's your higher level dementia types of situations. Now, $35 an hour is now hands-on assistance with a caregiver to have to help mom with their toileting, help them with their bathing, dressing, have to help them with transfers, have to help them with walking, things like that. And then our $37 an hour, in some agencies are all the way up to $40 an hour, is now it's full care situation where they're fully dependent on the bathing, dressing, toileting. They probably are bedridden, or it's a hospice situation. Hospice situations, if somebody calls and they said, well, my mom's on hospice, they automatically go, just because the prognosis, even though they might still be walking around, due to their prognosis, we have to go to the highest level of care because in most situations it's going to progress. We don't want to have to keep making a call back to the family and say, hey, we need to raise the rate because the caregiver's doing more. We just automatically go to the highest level of care, because the caregiver's going to want that. So For us in the Chicagoland area, it's anywhere from 33 to 37 an hour. Um, but again, some agencies can be all the way up to 40 now, and I've actually even heard higher than that. So that's the difference in all those, and so you can use this little tool, in your state. Oops, there we go again. So you could click on Wisconsin and then choose if you're living in Wisconsin. Okay, let's go back to Illinois here. Um, oh, yep. See, actually, when I just did Illinois, it raised the rate there. Let's see what it does for monthly for the different ones. So see how it increased the rate. So it put the average throughout the whole state. Because actually in the rural areas it might be a little more expensive. But it's a great tool to kind of get an idea as far as what the cost of care are in the different types of settings, as far as home care, adult daycare, assisted living, memory care, and then in your nursing home facility, if it's a semi-private room or a private room. Now, assisted living, no, I've never really seen, you have a husband and wife situation, but you don't have two people that are strangers in a room or anything like that. It's just in the nursing homes. So those are considerations that you want to consider. Boy, this map is really touchy, isn't it? So, again, the difference between these, as far as a helper to the helper to client ratio, is in-home care is a one-on-one. So that's why you're going to see it a little more expensive than these right here. Community and assisted living is a 1 to 15 ratio. So you got one CNA or one helper to 15 residents. So your parent can become a number, because that CNA has got 50, they could be called by 5 different people. So they have to, go to the first one, and then your parent is on hold until they finish with that first one and go to the second one. So it's a 1 to 15 ratio. Now, in a nursing home facility, the CNAs, it's typically a 1 to 8 ratio. So it's one helper to one patient. So again, that CNA's got 8 patients that they're responsible for that day or their shift. And if patient number one is needing help, and your mom pressed the button, 10 minutes later, she might have 3 other patients to help out before she gets to them. So it can become a waiting game. This is why you see higher risk of infection and higher risks of falls, because of your parents sitting there and they're going, oh, maybe I can get to the restroom sooner rather than later, waiting for somebody to come. So that's consideration to also take into consideration. Is a nursing home facility, again, is 1 to 8 ratio. Assisted living is 1 to 15, and then in-home care is 1 to 1. So typically here, when your mom calls for help, she's going to get help right away because they're right there. They don't have any other people to be responsible for. So again, yeah, this is a great. Oh gosh, I don't want to hover over that map. Great tool to use to figure out the cost of care. Put your zip code in here, and then it should populate for you, or you could just put your state in here to figure out what the cost of care is for you. And like I showed you here, there's other little articles that can be very helpful for you too, as well, at this Genworth site. If you have any other further questions, be happy to help. Give us a call. My information's below in the description. Also, if you're interested, I do have a book, Senior Parents Happy at Home. It's a resource book. Explains all different senior care providers, like what is a geriatric care manager, what is elder law attorney, and things like that. There's also safety considerations with my background as a home care physical therapist. I also put how to make the bathroom safe, how to make the kitchen safe, the bedroom safer for your aging parents. So it's a resource guide that I've used over the last, when I was a home care physical therapist, and now, put information in there as my 23 years experience providing care for seniors in this book. So it's very good. If you can cover the cost of shipping, I'll send you the book. So I'll put my email below. If you wanted a copy of the book, just send me an email, and then we can figure out the details as far as getting a copy, sending you a PayPal link or something like that to pay that for the cost of shipping. All right. Hope you found this video helpful. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.